As usual, Lenovo rolls in pretty deep at CES, and this year's no different. We've got a slew of new laptops, and I'm checking out the ThinkBook Plus Twist as well as the ThinkBook 16P. They're two of the more eye-catching devices here amongst Lenovo's slate of laptops. And let's start with the Twist. This is the ThinkBook Plus. This is basically the third generation. We've seen in previous CESs, Lenovo has already made versions of this. It's a really sleek high-end machine with an OLED display and an EInk screen built into the lid. But this year, there is a twist. The twist is in the name and in the hinge. You can use the new kind of 360-degree swiveling hinge now to sort of turn the screen around and have either the EInk screen face you or the color screen face you. And what's interesting too is that whenever you turn it around, the screen that is facing you will mirror or show the Windows operating system. Of course, on the EInk screen, this is kind of a watered down version of Windows 11. You'll have two different modes to use it in, the lower refresh rate, on which I could actually see the mouse trails as I was dragging the cursor around, or you can go to what they call speed mode to have a slightly faster refreshing experience of Windows. Of course, I don't recommend you use the EInk screen for Windows, really. It's more there for note-taking or battery-conserving purposes when you say, just want to use the EInk side of it on the go. You can always just flip the EInk screen to face outside and close the laptop to use it kind of as a hefty EInk tablet. And of course, if what you're looking for is an actual EInk note-taking device, maybe consider the new Lenovo Smart Paper, which the company also unveiled at CES 2023. It's a take on the remarkable, almost Kindle Scribe-like EInk writing tablet, and it has software that's customized to syncing your notes across your devices. But back to the ThinkBook Plus Twist. This on its own is a pretty serious machine. It's got a 13.3-inch OLED 2.8K screen that refreshes at 60 Hz. It goes up to 400 nits of brightness and supports pen input, as does the EInk side of things. All of this is powered by up to 13th gen Intel Core i7 processor, and there is a 56 watt-hour battery in here to power everything. To know yet how long that's really going to last, we'll have to test this out in the real world. And to be very clear, we never really tested a ThinkBook device before. It's not really a consumer-facing product, so we don't know how well these generally tend to hold up. I expect there's probably going to be a lot of room for damage. What with you constantly turning the device like this, it feels like it might lend itself to breakage at some point, but so far in the 5-ish minutes that I've been trying to twist this thing around, it's held up. There's no real damage that I feel that can happen in my brief time with it. It's also worth pointing out that up front, you've got the a Full HD camera on the OLED side of the display that will allow for Windows Hello logins as well. And to be fair, this thing isn't very heavy. For a 13-inch laptop, it is on the heavy side for an ultra portable, but it feels like a premium machine. The ThinkBook Plus Twist will start at $1,650 and should be available in June. Moving on now to the ThinkBook 16P 4th generation. This is Lenovo's, bigger 16-inch laptop, and yeah, it doesn't have a EInk panel on the back of the display, but it's a very sturdy machine. And this year, what's really cool is you can actually see these pogo pins on the back of the camera module. It's also magnetic, because the thing that's new with the 4th generation of the ThinkBook 16P is what Lenovo is calling the Magic Bay. With this area, you can snap on different attachments and add capabilities like LTE connectivity, for example, or a higher resolution webcam like a 4K one that Lenovo has made that has a rotating hinge for the camera so you can see both yourself and who's on the other side of you. Or, and this is my favorite, a selfie light. The selfie attachment itself will supposedly retail for about $20. It has a touch-sensitive edge that can let you control the brightness of the light and turn it off altogether. I mean, for someone like me who's obsessed with how they look on a call, this sounds like a really great idea. Also interesting is the 4K camera attachment. You snap it on, you can immediately use it as an already superior camera in terms of resolution, but Lenovo has built custom software that'll fuse the feeds from both the regular FHD webcam with the feed coming in from this attached 4K camera to give better footage. I'm not really sure how the software is supposed to work here, why you would compensate one with the other, but it is an option, and The software is not yet released, but we will have to see how it behaves in apps like Zoom or Teams and whether it will cause delays. But it is a nice touch that you can flip the camera around, and if you're in a call in a meeting room with yourself as well as a team facing you, you can now get the feeds from both cameras and see everyone on the call. For now, Lenovo has no plans to make anything beyond these 3 modules, or even, as I asked, one that combines the light and the 4K camera, but a company rep did tell me that you could potentially use the USB-C dongle or port at the bottom of the 4K webcam attachment to connect it to the laptop itself, prop it up on a stand, and then snap the selfie light onto the Magic Bay. Beyond the Magic Bay, the ThinkBook 16P is just a beast of a machine. This is first of all, a whole new keyboard for the ThinkBook series. It's got 1.5 millimeters of key travel, which is very deep. This 16-inch screen uses mini LED technology. It has an accuracy rating of delta E less than 1 and refreshes at 120 Hz. It'll go up to 3.2K in resolution depending on the configuration. So basically, it looks like a really great system for anyone that's doing a lot of, color or photo editing work. And to support your workflow, it'll be powered by Intel's 13th generation up-to-core i9 processors, as well as up to NVIDIA's latest 40 series GeForce laptop graphics processors. You can also get this with up to 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. And as is typical for a beefy machine this size, you've got plenty of ports here. You've got 2 USB-Cs, you've got an HDMI, you've got a full-size SD card reader, and 2 USB-A slots on the back. If you're already intrigued, you'll just have to wait until May for the ThinkBook 16P to be available, and it'll start at $1,350. Personally, I think Lenovo's experimenting with laptops in a very fun and kind of useful way. Of course, we'll have to wait to test these out in the real world to see how genuinely useful they are, but for now, color me intrigued. For more lit coverage of CES 2023, make sure you subscribe to Engadget.